Welcome back to OpenLine. Talking about metro schools, we have a panel up here of people who can answer any question you have about metro schools. Before break, we were talking to Marvin. Marvin asked about pre-K and also vocational. He thinks vocational education should be in our high schools, part of every high school. To complete that thought, we didn't get to vocational. What about that? What would you say to Marvin?
Marvin, I'm glad you asked that question. It's no longer termed vocational, but each of our high schools, as you enter the 9th grade, you will choose an academy. Now, those academies partner with different businesses in our community and are typical to what you may think vocational school was in the past. Each of the high schools has several academies, and students are welcome to visit our Choice Festival to help them in deciding what academy would work best for them.
So when they're talking automotive, there's that sort of a skill that is taught.
Firestone is recently branding with our Maplewood High School to offer something similar to that at Maplewood. Anyone who's interested in applying for that can apply once our school options application comes out late October, early November. They can actually select a major or a vocation for their high school career.
And there is this partnership with businesses working with these academies.
Yes.
The other issue that his question brought up, he asked about pre-K. Pre-K, again, Dr. Register's been on here, he talked about pre-K. Dr. Register has retired. We now have an interim director. So the question, how does having an interim director affect day-to-day operations of the district and those larger projects that he pushed? So the last director was for pre-K. Does that continue under the interim? Do you see changes? For parents who have those kinds of questions, you know, what do you say?
Well, I think, and I think as a district, we all think that Mr. Henson's done a great job. This is not his first time of taking in an interim role, and did a wonderful time when he did that previously. And just like right now, I've been in several meetings with him, and his agenda is very much a part of, you know, focusing on those initiatives. For instance, one of the big ones that we've mentioned is the pre-K initiative. And so if anything, we are plugging right along, and we are not letting anything really stop us. And I think Mr. Henson is really providing a lot of leadership within that role. He knows the district, he's been here for a while, and it's been great to work with him. So no fear, it's going great.
Okay, steady leadership there. Okay, let's go to Amy. Hello, Amy. Are you there? Hi, Amy. Are you there, Amy? Oh, we lost Amy. Let's go to Chris. Hello, Chris.
How you doing?
Hi, what's on your mind?
Yeah, I just want to say this. I think that the metro schools did one terrible thing. That's why a lot of people are not graduating. I believe that they took God out of the whole equation, and that's why there's so many problems. If you put God back in the equation, things will start working out and moving a lot better, because I did a study that when God was in the schools, it was a 92% crime rate. That was down. People were going to school. Children were graduating.
But this isn't a metro schools decision. Did your study indicate that?
Out of the schools, and I believe that that's satanic, and I believe that whoever's behind that foolishness will have to deal with God.
Well, it wasn't a metro schools decision. But okay, Chris, thank you for your call. And I don't know that there's a lot to comment there. One thing you were talking about was parents calling about immunization, shots, that kind of thing.
Yes.
A lot of students had a deadline to meet. How did that work out? How many met that deadline, and where do we stand with that right now?
So we did approach the state mandated deadline for students that did need to have all of their immunizations. We have found that the majority of students are in compliance with immunizations. Anyone who did need them, they're either working on that now or they've already been completed.
So 7th grade, if you didn't have your shots, you were not allowed to come to school?
You were not allowed to return until we did have the shots.
And so how many students were affected by that?
I don't have the exact numbers with me, but the majority as of today, the majority are compliant and they are back in school.
That's good.
Yeah.
Okay. What are some of the other questions? Busing issues. Is that one of the big questions you all hear? Customer service, what about that?
Yeah, we do help. We do work on our transportation department, and we are the public face for bus information. So we were getting a majority of calls about where is my bus stop, what time do I need to be there, general information questions. That's also available on our website. We have a place where you can plug in your school and your home address. It will let you know where your nearest bus stop is. So as long as you're registered for a school, you don't need to sign up for the bus separately. You can go on and see where to go and be out there waiting for the bus.
So if someone called up, you could give them that information?
Yes, we do that. We did that thousands of times a week, yes.
What, thousands of times a week?
Yes.
And do you do that too?
I have helped with that, yes, sir.
Yeah, I bet. That's one of the big things. All right, let's talk about the First Choice Festival.
Sure.
So what is that? When is it coming up? What are we talking about there?
Okay, so we are really excited about that, as you can tell from my smile. The event is on Sunday, September 20th. We picked Sunday because we feel like that's a great time for families to, have time, not rushing during a weekday. And so we felt like Sunday was going to be a great time. It's going to be at the Music City Center, our new convention center. It's going to be from 1 to 4 p.m. On that Sunday, and we're going to have several things. When families walk in, we will have a school finder zone where they can go, and just like we were talking about, we can talk with them. Our family liaisons will be there, and we're going to talk with them about what their address is and what their school, what they would be zoned for, what school they'd be zoned for, as well as other school options that would be available to them. And then they'll have an opportunity to actually go see those schools. Each school will have a booth. We'll have the principal there and other folks, teachers and students and things like that, be able to sign up for school tours. So it's a great opportunity for families that are really looking at their options to go to this particular event. We'll have a kids zone there with inflatables and a puppet show, and Country Music Hall of Fame is going to have a petting instrument zoo. And so it's going to be a really fun-filled event where families can really get to know what their school options are, and then have be able to, on the school application, be able to put choices that they're knowledgeable about and they feel good about.
So you're zoned, everyone's zoned for a certain school.
Yes.
But what is, I guess what's happening now is there is an opportunity to go to many other schools in the district. Right. So here you go and you see what the other schools are and you pick, right? Is that right? You write down what schools you want to go to and you hope you get in. There might be a waiting list or whatever, but you're hoping to get into one of these other schools if you don't want to go to your zone school. Is that kind of what's going on?
Mm-hmm. And one thing that's great about that is when you make your selection of schools, you can choose up to 7, and you choose them in the priority that you would like to attend. So as seats become available for you, we will actually maintain that wait list in the order that you would like to have that school appear. So if a seat comes open in option number 3, we will still continue working on option number 1 and number 2 all the way into the next school year to try to get you the school that you want most of all.
So what percentage of students now, approximately, go to their zone school, and what percentage actually take advantage of this option of choice within the district?
So we know that 24% of our district are filling out the school application. So that's roughly 20,000 students are doing that. So it's a pretty big number. And really at this festival, we want to provide these opportunities, and a lot of families really do stay with their zone school because they find that it's a good fit for them. They can walk their child to school. So we really want to show how great some of our zone schools are, but we also want to be able to show that if this is not the perfect fit for you, then you do have other options.
And in doing that, there's not bus service to that school unless you take MTA, right? It's up to the parent to get the child there. Your zone school, there's bus service. Mm-hmm. You take one of the others, that's not the case. Is that right?
Right.
And what about MTA service? How does that play in? Who wants to take that question?
Well, there is something great that's new this year. You may have heard about the STRIDE program, the partnership between the Mayor's Office, MTA, and Metro Schools last year, which was for all high school students. So all high school students can use their school ID badge. Embedded in there is a chip that also is an MTA pass. So they can freely, for no charge, travel the entire county to go to whatever high school they would rather go to. Not only for our schools, it's also good for after-school activities. They can participate there and ride the MTA home. This year, that's been extended to include all middle schools.
And that is a remarkable program that we have talked about, the Stride program, and the availability of that at all times, weekends or whatever, they can ride free. When you show up at that festival, what are the schools, what would you see for schools? I guess, is it up to the school to figure out how they showcase themselves? And so what should one expect to see? Is it going to be we're great at math or we're great at whatever? How do the schools showcase themselves and differentiate themselves?
Well, I think that's probably the beauty of the festival, is that every school is different and unique and offers different focuses. And so hopefully what you'll see is a wide variety of choices. And so, you know, some of our schools are a STEM-focused school and others are a literacy-focused school. And so I think once you go to the booth, hopefully you'll be able to see what that focus is, and then hopefully be able to take a school tour to even see that, you know, within the particular classroom. While we're talking about MTA, we will be offering free rides from MTA over to the Music City Center that day, so families can just hop on the bus and take it to the center. We'll also have free parking at the Nissan Stadium, as well as the free shuttle service over to the center. So we really don't want this event that's downtown to be a hindrance because of transportation.
Right. All right, and before we go to break, let's take another call here. Let's go to Jim. Hello, Jim.
Hey, how you doing, sir?
Great. What's on your mind?
Good. I just got a comment about that last seller that was on the phone.
Okay.
I think that brother made a lot of sense. Now, if I got my children want to go to a metro school and we believe in Jesus Christ, and I was wondering if there's any schools that is metro that believes in Jesus Christ, and how would that put them to a place where they get higher learning? That's all.
Okay. Well, again, I mean, that's a federal issue. And I'm sure we've gotten 2 calls on this now, so I guess you must get this call. Do you get it? Is there an answer here that would? It's a federal issue. It's not up to Metro to decide that. Separation of church and state. It's.
We have one thing that we have to keep in context here is that we have over 140 different languages spoken. We have so many different ethnicities here, and we have a lot of children and a lot of families that have, you know, different cultures and different beliefs, and so we as a school system, we really want to respect that and provide the best education possible, and you know, and at the same time be culturally respectful. So it is a federal issue, and we also want to, you know, provide equal opportunity for every single student.
Okay, we're going to take a break. If you want to call, there's the number 615-737-PLUS, 615-737-7587. Take a break. Be back right after this.